Hey guys, we're going to be flying on Southwest's 737-700 to the Pacific Northwest to Portland International Airport. Welcome aboard Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. In this video, we're going to see some pretty cool scenery along the West Coast mountains with spectacular views of the Cascade Range megavolcanoes. Before landing in Portland, I'll show you footage of a wildfire we saw just getting started, burning uncontrollably. That and much more on our hour-and-a-half hop to Oregon. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. GoPro's internal software tilted this shot for the first minute, but all the cool scenery after the takeoff was captured perfectly leveled. Today, we take off from sunny Oakland on runway 30, pointed northwest and into the wind. Here, you can see our landing gear still down, but being retracted. Oakland Tower to the right side and company 737-700 below us. While San Francisco International remains the largest passenger hub in the Bay Area, Oakland International is our go-to freight hub. It is home to FedEx's air freight operation with many Boeing 767 and MD-11s flying in and out. Here, we have Alameda Island. It is one of the most underrated communities in the East Bay, with a charming beach and a nice downtown. The island didn't used to be so sleepy. It used to be one of the Pacific's largest military bases. Today, it is home to the U.S. Coast Guard and the USS Hornet Naval Aviation Museum. Here is the Port of Oakland, and on the right side, a massive fire burning uncontrollably. The Port of Oakland is one of the largest container ports on the West Coast, ranked number 3 just behind the Port of LA and Long Beach. Behind that plume of smoke is Oakland downtown, and to the right, Lake Merritt. Here's a closer angle of the Port of Oakland. You can see container ships unloading at their berths. Portside container cranes were shipped here from China on special semi-submersible heavy lift ships. Here's the Bay Bridge and the toll plaza. And just in front of our winglet, Emeryville Marina. Down at the right side of our screen is the old Alameda Air Station. The airbase has long been closed, but this is famous for being the filming spot for the Mythbusters show. If you move your eyes just ahead of the winglet, you'll see Mount Diablo. Another view of Berkeley and Emeryville, and to the far right of the screen, we can look back at Oakland International Airport. Behind Berkeley is the beautiful Briones Open Space Preserve. At the lower center of the screen is San Pablo Reservoir and Wanna Creek far in the distance. We head north with great clear views of the Carquinez Strait. On the bottom left side, Interstate 80 crosses the strait, heading northbound, and eventually all the way east across the country to New Jersey. North of the Bay Area, we see the scenic Solano County with its dry golden hills, with the cities of Vacaville in the center and Fairfield to the right. Our route of flight becomes increasingly interesting as we fly over Lake Berryessa. At the center of our shot is Monticello Dam in a narrow canyon. Lake Berryessa empties out on Pewter Creek towards the Sacramento River, providing valuable water to the agrarian Central Valley. 50 miles north, we're in the heart of California's agriculture region. The group of circular hills in the center of the shot is Sutter's Butte, the core of an old volcano. This is the first volcano we see on our flight. Half hour into the flight, we pass by the city of Chico. Behind Chico is the city of Paradise, the epicenter of California's 2018 Camp Fire, one of the most devastating and tragic in the state's history. This far north, the Central Valley starts to narrow as the Sierra Mountains move west. It is here where the Sierra Mountains subsides under the Cascade Mountains bedrock. Sierra granite gives way to volcanic rocks of the Cascade. Under our wing, Lassen Peak. The southernmost Cascade volcano was famous for erupting in 1915, being only one of 2 volcanoes that have erupted in the US mainland in the last 150 years. Below us, Lake Shasta, feeding into the Sacramento River. Here's the dramatic Castle Crag State Park with great rock climbing and hiking. And Mount Shasta, the largest volcano by volume in the Cascade Range, and the second highest after Mount Rainier. Mount Shasta is actually two volcanoes. On its north face is Shastina, over 12,000 feet high, itself higher than Mount Hood, the highest point in Oregon. And to the bottom of Mount Shasta is Black Butte, a volcanic offshoot that formed from the high pressure underground. Here is more raw clips of Mount Shasta. Sit back and enjoy. We cross into Oregon welcomed by more lava flows. We're high over Medford with Klamath Lake in the distance. And here, the dormant Mount McLaughlin, standing about 9,500 feet high above sea level, famous for its symmetric profile amongst photographers and its substantial vertical relief from the surrounding scenery. Look at the way Mount McLaughlin casts its shadow towards the east. The volcano hasn't erupted in over 30,000 years and is believed to be dormant and possibly extinct. Smoke from a wildfire starts obscuring our view, but we still have a few cool sights before arriving in Portland. Look under our wing for our first glimpse of Crater Lake. Here are some still shots with more details and less haze. It is America's steepest lake at almost 2,000 feet deep. It formed as a result of a massive eruption, so big that it blew its top off. The eruption emptied the mountain's lava chambers, leaving nothing to support its massive weight. The cause of the haze has been revealed. A massive wildfire is burning to the west of the Three Sister volcano, halfway up the state near Bend, Oregon. This wildfire was a result of lightning strikes in this area. Because of its remote nature, firefighters had a hard time reaching it. The hot summer, strong winds, and dry vegetation did not help. The fire ended up burning for a few more months, with smoke reaching deep into the continent all the way to Idaho and Montana. Here's another spot where the lightning strike caused the fire. To the left of the fire at the center of the shot is Green Peter Lake, near Eugene, Oregon. Besides its sparse cities, Oregon has a lot of trees and forest land. Oregon is the largest lumber-producing state. About 100 miles north, moisture starts appearing in the air. It starts to feel like the Pacific Northwest. We begin our descent into the Willamette Valley, home to Portland and Oregon's major cities. Look at our shadow casted on the cloud. On this flight, we had the privilege of witnessing different climates as we moved north from California to Oregon. There's a lot more visible moisture and clean air up here. And that higher latitude sun creates a softer orange ray that evokes a Scandinavian feel. Controllers cleared us for an approach to Portland's runway 28 right. First notch of flaps are deployed, and we are rewarded with a sweeping left turn over the Columbia River Gorge. The Columbia River is the West Coast's largest. At one point during the last ice age over 10,000 years ago, the Missoula Mega Ice Age floods swept right through this canyon on its way to the Pacific Ocean. Water several hundred feet high and moving over 60 miles an hour rushed through here, sweeping away everything along its way. At that point, water couldn't even get to the Pacific Ocean fast enough. Ice Age floodwaters were thought to have backed up in the Willamette Valley for days before emptying into the Pacific. At this point, the pilots are intercepting the ILS into the runway, giving us vertical and horizontal guidance into the Portland Airport. Right off the winglet is Troutdale Airport, one of Portland's general aviation hubs. Across the river is Washington State, and the city there, Camas, Washington. In In the middle of the river is an island that belongs to Oregon. It is home to wildlife and not inhabited by humans. But hundreds of years ago, this was prime fishing ground for local natives.
Please be aware the front and back doors will be open for ground servicing, so please don't let your children go near those front and back doors without any supervision.
One last look at our 737-700. Welcome to Portland Airport. Hope you enjoyed our ride on Southwest 737-700. This is just a start to our aviation-filled trip. Our next stop, the McMinnville Evergreen Aviation Museum. I hope you enjoyed the views of the Bay Area and the Cascade Volcanoes. Thanks again for joining us on this flight from Oakland to Portland. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to add a like and subscribe to my channel for more aviation content like this. See you guys in the next flight.